Have you ever wondered how animals mate in the wild? Probably not. It's a weird thing to think about. But once you've watched a whole video about it, you'll find yourself wishing you had thought about it because it's actually super interesting.
Process.
Some mates for days. Some have odd rituals in the buildup. These are 14 of the most unusual animal mating behaviors. Number 14. Leopards' relentless mating habits. Leopards are known for their incredible stamina when it comes to mating. These big cats can mate every 15 minutes for up to an entire week. That means they could mate around 250 times in that span. Leopards aren't monogamous, and a single female may mate with several males during her reproductive cycle. The process can be harsh, especially for the female. The male's barbed penis causes pain as he pulls away, and this can lead to frustration on the female's part. She often reacts by swiping at him in an effort to protect herself. It's a cycle of alternating pain and pleasure, as the drive to reproduce overpowers everything else. Despite the discomfort, this intense mating ritual plays a vital role in ensuring the survival of the species.
Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
Number 13. Giraffes' selective mating rituals. In the giraffe world, only the strongest and most dominant males get the chance to mate. Female giraffes, unlike many other animals, can breed year-round, but they become receptive to mating approximately every 2 weeks. However, since they live across vast territories, finding a mate can be challenging for the males. They have to travel between female groups in search of an opportunity. When a male giraffe is ready, he typically targets young adult females. To impress her, he might lick her tail, rest his head on her back, or gently nudge her with his ossicones, those small bumps on top of his head. Once courtship is successful, the male climbs on top of the female while balancing on his hind legs and resting his front legs on her sides. The female's pregnancy is quite long, lasting anywhere from 400 to 460 days, almost 15 months. When it's time for the calf to be born, it falls to the ground as soon as it's delivered, breaking the umbilical cord. Remarkably, within hours, the calf is already able to stand and walk, relying on its natural camouflage for protection from predators. It will continue to nurse for the next few months, but it won't gain full independence until it's about 14 months old. Number 12. Kangaroos' fierce mating competition. In the kangaroo world, mating is a highly competitive event where the strongest males fight for the chance to court a female. When a female kangaroo is in estrus, which means she's fertile and ready to mate, she roams large areas and sends out strong signals to attract the males. These signals could include scent markings or physical displays to show her readiness. Male kangaroos keenly observe these signals, sniffing her urine to confirm her status. If she's open to mating, the male will approach slowly, trying not to scare her away. Once he has her attention, he'll begin the process by licking, pawing, and gently scratching her, eventually leading to copulation. After mating, the male kangaroo often moves on to another female, since mating with a single partner can last several days. Rival males are constantly watching for an opportunity to step in, which leads to further competition. Larger dominant males usually stay close to the females in estrus, guarding their potential mates. Smaller males, on the other hand, tend to target females that haven't yet become fertile. Rather than chasing multiple females, the dominant males often focus on confronting smaller rivals who are already guarding a female, challenging them in fierce fights to claim the right to mate. Number 11. Porcupine's prickly mating process. Porcupine mating rituals are an unusual and demanding affair. The male begins by spraying urine on the female to determine if she's receptive. If she's not, she will shake off the urine, signaling her disinterest. But if the female is ready to mate, she'll expose her vulnerable, quill-less underbelly, which shows she's open to the male's advances. Female porcupines only have a short window of 8 to 12 hours each year, during which they are receptive, making the whole process intense and time-sensitive. The male's patience is put to the test, as he must keep pursuing the female, mating repeatedly until she's satisfied. The actual act of mating is tricky, as the male has to carefully avoid the female's sharp quills while positioning himself. Once the female accepts his advances and the male mounts her, she remains relatively passive throughout the process. However, it's far from a one-time event. The male must go through multiple rounds of mating, which can be physically exhausting for him. This whole process shows just how adapted porcupines are to the challenges of reproduction. It requires persistence, skill, and a careful approach to ensure successful mating and the continuation of their species. Number 10. Rhinoceros intense courtship rituals. Rhinoceros courtship is anything but subtle. When a female rhino is ready to mate, she starts the process by letting out a loud, distinct whistle, signaling her interest. The males, however, can be slow to catch on, and the female often has to chase after them, trying to get their attention. Once the male finally responds, the real drama begins. The pair engages in a fierce headbutting contest known as Bluff and Bluster, where the two rhinos lock horns and violently clash. These battles of strength and willpower can last for hours, with each rhino testing the other's endurance and power. The force behind their head-on collisions is extraordinary, and the contest is an intense way for the rhinos to assess whether they're a good match. Only the strongest and most determined can last through the brutal challenge, ensuring that only the fittest males get the opportunity to mate. Once the battle subsides, the actual mating occurs swiftly but remains significant. The courtship itself is vital for the survival of the species, as it showcases the rhino's physical prowess and stamina, ensuring that the strongest individuals pass on their genes to future generations. Number 9. Hippo's chaotic mating ritual. In the world of hippos, mating is anything but serene. It all takes place in the water, making the whole process messy and rough. When a female hippo is ready to mate, the male will first sniff her behind and taste her urine to assess her fertility. Female hippos usually reach sexual maturity around 5 or 6 years old, although some may begin as early as 3 or 4. Male hippos, on the other hand, remain active year-round and can mate at any time. The competition among males intensifies during peak mating season, and they mark their territory by simultaneously urinating and defecating, asserting their dominance. Once a male has claimed his territory, the actual mating takes place in the water. The male submerges the female, forcing her to hold her breath and come up for air during intervals. After mating, the female carries the calf for about 8 months, which is relatively short compared to other large mammals. When the calf is born, it usually weighs around 50 kilograms and emerges in shallow water or on land. After birth, the mother seeks seclusion for 10 to 14 days, focusing on nursing the calf, which can happen both underwater and on land. The mother will lie on her side to make feeding easier. As the calf grows, it is carried on her back in deeper waters for protection. Hippo mothers are fiercely protective of their young, guarding them against other animals and even other hippos. Like other large mammals, hippos follow a K strategy, meaning they give birth to one well-developed calf every few years. This results in a strong bond between the mother and her calf. By the time the calf reaches 1 year old, it's no longer dependent on nursing, marking its gradual move toward independence. Now, let's shift focus to another animal where mating takes on an intense and vigorous form. Number 8. Lion's relentless mating cycle. Lion mating is a forceful and repetitive event. While each mating session may only last a minute, the male lion's determination to mate frequently is remarkable. A male lion can mate up to 100 times in a single day. The lioness requires several mating sessions to ovulate and conceive, and the act itself is aggressive. However, the most intense moment occurs when the male withdraws, as his barbed spines cause considerable pain to the female. This often triggers a growl or even a swipe from the lioness, who reacts to the discomfort with frustration and aggression. Despite the pain, this aggressive mating is crucial for the lioness to become pregnant. This non-stop cycle can continue for several days, with the male mating with the female every few minutes to maximize his chances of fertilizing her. While this process is demanding and exhausting, it's necessary for the survival of the pride, ensuring that the lion's bloodline continues. The mating process in the lion world is not only physical, but also a display of power and endurance, as dominance is key to ensuring successful reproduction. Now let's take a look at a primate with a completely different approach to mating. Number 7. Bonobos' intimate and social mating. Bonobos, also known as pygmy chimpanzees, are known for their bold approach to mating, and they're not shy about engaging in sexual activity even when their offspring are nearby. Mating is central to bonobo society, where it helps strengthen social bonds. In fact, they use mating as a way to say hello, make peace after a fight, and resolve conflicts. Bonobos are one of the few animals, along with humans, who kiss using their tongues and engage in face-to-face sex. They don't limit themselves to a single partner, but instead have multiple mating partners, adding variety to their social interactions. When food is found, bonobos often celebrate by engaging in communal mating, which helps them relax and prevents fights over food. Female bonobos have large clitorises, and when they join a new group, they engage in sexual interactions with other females to be accepted into the community. One interesting behavior involves female bonobos rubbing their clitorises together to form strong bonds with each other. This constant mating, while seemingly wild, plays a key role in the peaceful nature of bonobo society, fostering cooperation and strengthening social ties among individuals. Now let's move on to another fascinating animal with unique mating customs. Now it's time for the sweet topic. Rhinos are big and fearsome creatures, well known for their aggression in combat. But it's not fighting when they get rather dominant and intense. It's also in the bedroom. Well, not a literal bedroom, I mean in the bedroom, in the metaphorical sense of the phrase. As you can see in this image, taken in a zoo, rhinos do not care if anyone is watching. When they are in the mood, they are in the mood, and it gets intense! As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below using the hashtag #SweetTopic. Number 6. Cheetah's competitive mating. In the cheetah world, mating is a contest of scent and power. Female cheetahs use their urine to signal to males that they are ready to mate. During their estrus cycle, they intentionally urinate in specific locations to attract the attention of nearby males. However, just because she sends out the signal doesn't mean the process is straightforward. When multiple males show up in response to her scent, the competition begins. For the male cheetahs, the process starts with marking their territory. As a female in estrus approaches, the males begin to make their scent markings more prominent, alerting others to their presence. If several males arrive, a fierce battle ensues. The strongest male will claim the right to mate with the female, but it's not always as simple as that. A female may mate with multiple males over the course of her estrus period. The actual mating process is swift and direct, with no elaborate courtship rituals. The male's interaction is brief and repetitive, mating several times a day for 2 to 3 days before moving on. When the time comes for the female to give birth, she will seek out a secluded area, often hidden in thick vegetation. She will give birth to a litter of 1 to 8 cubs, with 3 to 4 cubs being the most common. The mother is solely responsible for raising the cubs. The cubs are born blind, weighing only 150 to 300 grams, and remain hidden for the first month of their lives. The mother moves them to new hiding spots regularly, always alert to potential predators. As the cubs grow, they begin to venture out, and around 2 months old, they start eating solid food. By the time they reach 4 to 6 months, the cubs begin to practice hunting small prey. However, it often takes until they are 15 months old to make their first successful kill on their own. By 20 months, the cubs are ready to leave their mother and live independently. Now let's take a look at a courtship that's full of action and humor. Number 5. Warthog's Wild Courtship. Warthog courtship is a lively and entertaining affair, full of competition and persistence. The process begins with the males engaging in intense wrestling matches to prove their strength and win the attention of a female. These physical contests are crucial, as the victorious male will then shift to the next phase of the ritual, which is less about strength and more about strategy. The male warthog follows the female around, making loud clicking sounds to show his readiness and interest. If the female seems uninterested, the male doesn't give up. Instead, he becomes even more persistent, gently biting her in a playful yet determined effort to grab her attention. His courtship is about more than just showing strength. It's a mix of charm, persistence, and a little bit of humor. The scene can often be amusing, with the male circling endlessly as the female remains indifferent, making the whole process look almost comical. But eventually, the female gives in, and the mating occurs. It's quick, but intense, and rewards the male's persistence. This unique mating display highlights the warthog's determination and the lengths he's willing to go to win over his mate. Now let's meet a predator that takes its mating rituals to a whole new level. Number 4. Fossa's fierce mating struggle. Meet the fossa, a predator with an unusual and wild approach to mating. Unlike many animals that have specific breeding seasons, fossas engage in a polygamous system where both males and females may mate with multiple partners during the mating period. This period can last for several days and is marked by intense competition. When the female is ready, she calls out, making distinctive sounds to attract the males. This sound sparks a rush of competition among the males, who race to the base of the tree where the female waits. Once the males arrive, a fierce physical battle ensues. The last male standing earns the right to climb up the tree and mate with the female. This struggle can go on for hours, with the males showing no concern for the height of the tree or the swarm of insects around them. It's a dramatic and intense display of commitment as the males fight for the chance to mate. Their struggle is not just for the female, but for the right to prove themselves as the dominant male. This whole scene highlights their determination and shows the incredible effort they're willing to put in just to claim victory in the treetops. Now let's shift focus to a majestic animal whose mating rituals are equally intense and competitive. Number 3. Zebra's fierce breeding season. Zebra courtship is intense and highly competitive, particularly during the limited breeding season that lasts just a few months, typically between August and September. During this time, male zebras will do whatever it takes to win a female's attention. The courtship is marked by vocalizations, displays of strength, and sometimes even physical combat. Males will fight for the opportunity to mate with the female, showcasing their dominance and stamina. When a female is ready to mate, she signals her willingness by lifting her tail, and the male quickly takes action. The mating process is often drawn out, with both males and females using body language to communicate their intentions. Female zebras may flatten their ears, signaling disinterest or discomfort, while the male may show his teeth in a display of dominance. The process is competitive, particularly among the different zebra species. Plains and mountain zebras tend to keep their mating rituals more private, with females typically mating with the dominant stallion of their group. However, Grevy's zebras have a looser mating structure, where males compete fiercely for attention and develop larger testes to handle the increased sperm competition. Once mating has taken place, the gestation period lasts about a year. After the foal is born, the mother may become fertile again within a few weeks. The newborn foal can stand and run within an hour of birth, instinctively following any moving object, while the mother remains alert to protect it. Zebras, like many other species, display fascinating and competitive courtship behaviors, ensuring that only the strongest continue their bloodline. The wild world of animal reproduction continues to surprise with its intensity and complexity. Number 2. Hyena's unique mating and reproductive ritual. Hyenas are known for having one of the most unusual and risky mating rituals in the animal kingdom. The female's anatomy presents a particular challenge for the male during mating. The male must navigate the female's pseudopenis, a uniquely enlarged clitoris that resembles a male's penis. This can be a tricky and delicate process requiring great skill. The male must insert his penis into this organ, a task that is fraught with danger, especially for weaker males. If the male is unsuccessful or rough, it can result in injury or even death. The complications do not end there. Female hyenas give birth through this same organ, which makes the birthing process equally challenging and risky. The female's reproductive system is largely masculinized, and her clitoris extends into a tube that mimics the appearance of a male's penis. This feature makes it difficult to distinguish males from females at first glance. The pseudopenis, measuring about 171 millimeters in length, serves multiple functions such as urination, reproduction, and giving birth. Scientists have long been fascinated by the pseudopenis, but its exact purpose remains a subject of study. One theory is that it evolved to help female hyenas navigate the dominant social structure of their clans, where females hold leadership roles over males. Female hyenas are strong, dominant figures within their groups and are known to be excellent hunters. It's believed that the pseudopenis may help reinforce their status. Despite its potential advantages in social dynamics, the organ also makes reproduction risky and complicated. The unique anatomy can make mating and birthing difficult, and this puts both the mother and her cubs in danger. In addition to their unusual reproductive traits, hyenas are also known for their complex social behaviors and strong bonds within their groups. Both male and female hyenas engage in social activities such as playing and communicating through cackles and growls. Now, let's explore the surprising and majestic mating habits of another impressive animal. Number 1. Elephants' intriguing mating rituals. Elephants are majestic creatures with complex and fascinating mating behaviors. A memorable moment was captured when a tourist witnessed a male elephant mating with a female at a waterhole. The scene shifted from peaceful drinking to an intense mating display, marked by loud trumpet calls and excited movement. Elephants are polygynous, which means males typically mate with multiple females, especially during the rainy season. This is when female elephants, or cows, signal their readiness to mate by releasing pheromones in their urine and vaginal secretions. When a male elephant detects these signals, he uses a unique behavior known as the Fleeman response. This involves the male collecting the chemical sample using his trunk and tasting it with a specialized organ inside his mouth. This behavior helps the male assess the female's reproductive status. The female elephant's estrus cycle lasts between 14 to 16 weeks and is divided into 2 phases. The follicular phase lasts 4 to 6 weeks, while the luteal phase lasts 8 to 10 weeks. During the follicular phase, the female experiences 2 surges of luteinizing hormone. The first surge doesn't cause ovulation, but changes the female's scent, signaling to males that she's in heat. Ovulation occurs only after the second surge. As female elephants age, their fertility decreases, particularly in those over 45 years old. Interestingly, like humans, elephants also experience a period of adolescent romance. Male elephants go through a phase known as musth, where they secrete a fluid from their temporal glands and urine often drips continuously. During this time, their testosterone levels can skyrocket to 60 times the normal amount, making them more aggressive and noticeable in their pursuit of mates. These males become highly competitive, and fights often break out during mating season as they try to prove their strength. When a male emerges victorious from a battle, he displays his dominance by raising his trunk, signaling his success. Female elephants tend to prefer these dominant males, often showing interest in those who are the strongest and most assertive. Elephants also use captivating displays to attract mates. Males may engage in dancing, power posturing, or even entwining their trunks in an affectionate gesture. They communicate through low-frequency sounds known as infrasounds, which are inaudible to humans but carry deep meaning to elephants. These sounds are part of a subtle love song that expresses the male's intentions. When the male and female come together, it's a magical moment, marked by a deep connection and intimacy. After this, the female elephant faces a long pregnancy that lasts 22 months, one of the longest gestation periods in the animal kingdom. The birth of a calf is a monumental event for these gentle giants, showing the depth of their family bonds and their dedication to the next generation. Which of these mating rituals amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.